Hey Leo, welcome to your relationship check-in reading, where we'll take a peek at any interactions or people that you might be interested in and see if we can get some clarity on where you guys stand. So we're going to jump right in and start by pulling a couple of oracle cards for you just to see what overall energy is surrounding this reading for you. And the first card that we have out for you is Sorry, Not Sorry. Friction, sarcasm, false apology, apathy, forgive, make amends, harboring hurt or resentment. Let's pull another and see what other energies are surrounding you for this reading. Oh boy. Okay. We have the runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, or listening to ego. Leo, it feels like it's a little bit of a rough go right now when it comes to this person that you are in a relationship with or otherwise interacting with. Now, I will say that for a lot of you, what's coming through is that this is someone that you are dating. I don't necessarily feel that it's something that's been very, very long term. It feels like sort of a medium baked type of relationship where you've been, you sort of signaled that, yes, you are both interested, you're dating each other. I almost feel like one of you thought that you all were dating exclusively, but that may not necessarily be the case for the other person. But whatever it is, it feels like there's a little bit of a rub that's happening between you all right now, where one of you thinks that the other person is being a little bit cold and unreasonable. They're being unfair about, the way things are sort of unfolding between the two of you. And the other one, sort of thinks that you're also being unreasonable and they just are kind of like, don't bother me. Like, it's one of those things where if you come to them and express an issue or a concern or a problem that you're having, they're kind of like, oh, sorry, you feel that way, where it's like, it's kind of an apology, but I mean, not really. It's almost like, sorry for your feelings, but I didn't have anything to do with them. That's how it's sort of coming across. So let's get into some tarot and see what other messages we can pull for you. So we're going to start first, Leo, with this person's purpose in your life. Like, why are they here? Why is this happening for you? What are you getting out of this? And so we have the Seven of Pentacles to start out. The Seven of Pentacles is really about planting seeds. It's about being patient, putting in the effort, sort of, watering these seeds, nurturing them, making sure they get sunlight and everything that they need to grow so you can harvest them at a later time. And let's see if we can clarify that a little bit further, because what's coming through right now is that this person is sort of forcing you to think about where it is that you spend your time and your energy. And we have that clarified with the World card. So the World can be about endings and beginnings, starting of a new chapter. It's the last card in the Fool's Journey, right? Where they come to the completion of something. And so what it feels like is this person is around because they're forcing you to evaluate where you spend your time and energy and where you place sort of, I think, your emotional resources when it comes to other people. And I think it's putting you in a position to decide whether or not this chapter needs to be closed with this person, where I think that in a past life, in past relationships, you may have sort of ignored things that are going on. You may have kept your mouth shut. You may not have sort of verbalized what it is that you were feeling and just kind of dealt with things until they hit DEFCON 1. But it does feel in this particular interaction with this person that you're starting to pick up on cues a lot faster. And I don't want to say that it's a test from the universe, but it's almost like, are you going to repeat the same things that you did before, where you hung in there a little bit too long? Are you going to continue investing in someone or a situation that doesn't seem to be giving you any sort of return? So how this person's energy affects you, Leos, we're starting out with the 10 of Pentacles. And so I don't necessarily think that the energy that's coming from this other person is one of stability, but I do think that it's forcing you to look at your own, because the 10 of Pentacles is really about stability. It's about abundance. It's sort of reaching that pinnacle, right? Of having that foundation being created where you don't have to sort of sit and wonder what's, sort of what's going to hit you next. This is, the 10 of Pentacles to me is a very calm energy because you have this nice, stable foundation. You sort of have everything you need. And so while I don't think that this is the energy that's coming from the other person, I think that what they're giving off is forcing you, again, to think about what stability looks like for you. What does abundance look like in your own life? And we have that clarified with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is in reverse. So how this is feeling, I think to you, is that you're not getting what it is that you want from this other person. We have this knight that's moving towards someone in a place of love. They have gifts to give. But then we have this Queen of Cups in reverse that doesn't feel like it's reciprocating that energy. So, I think in you thinking about what it is that you want, what you need for stability and comfort is not what's happening in terms of your interaction with this other person. It feels very much like the runner-chaser dynamic where you may be giving effort and energy and your love, and this other person is just not. Or they're giving much less than what you need, or they're giving it in a way that you are not necessarily open or receptive to. So looking at your strengths as a team, and to be perfectly honest, Leo, I'm not feeling a whole lot of it. We have the Two of Cups. So when it comes to your interaction, when it comes to time that you spend together, it's quite enjoyable. But it also feels very, very superficial. So do you have fun together? Yeah, sure. Is there chemistry there? Yeah, why not? But is that enough to sort of sustain where this is going? No. We also have that clarified with the Moon card. So the Moon is about things that are hidden. And I think that when it comes to your relationship, there is a sense of excitement. There is a sense of passion. I think that there's a lot of attraction between the two of you. But once you sort of get past that sort of physical attraction, it doesn't seem like there's enough sort of emotional or mental stability to sustain this relationship over the long term. And I think that that can be, that's a strength and also a challenge. I mean, it's great that you found someone that you're attracted to, but if that's not the only thing that you're looking for, it's going to be very, very difficult to make this last in the long term. Now, as far as challenges that you all face as a partnership, as a team, as a couple, whatever you want to classify it as, we have the Three of Swords and we also have the Star card. So this combination, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, Leo. When we look at the challenges and have these two cards pop out, the biggest obstacle is you being disappointed by this person and you being heartbroken because your wishes, the things that you want, are not being fulfilled. And it almost feels as though you keep sort of holding out hope that things are going to change, that this person is going to somehow grow and transform and morph into that giving individual that you want them to be. But it doesn't necessarily feel as though that's the case. It feels as though you are far more invested in this relationship than they are. So the biggest challenge is going to be you sort of getting your heart broken, you being disappointed in this person. and how they're not sort of stepping up in the way that you would want them to. An underlying issue that you all have in your relationship, we're starting out with the 10 of Cups. Now, ordinarily, the 10 of Cups is viewed as a very positive card, right? Because it's about achieving like the highest peak of happiness in your life. But, we also have that clarified by the 3 of Cups in reverse. And so the 3 of Cups is about joy. It's about celebration. It's about friendship. And so the underlying obstacle is that, yes, you want to be happy, right? But it doesn't feel as though that happiness is rooted in a true and genuine friendship. So, when we think about relationships, especially romantic ones, and we think about how the way that we're being treated, oftentimes we don't look at sort of the friendship test. So if you had a friend that you weren't romantically involved with that constantly flakes out on you, that doesn't respond to your texts, that, they don't return your calls, they act very disinterested, would you want to keep them around as a friend? And if that's not the case, why would you want to entertain that in the context of a romantic relationship? And so it feels like that's at the core of the issues that are underlying this relationship that you have with this other person, is that it doesn't necessarily feel like it was built on a foundation of friendship and mutual respect. That there's, again, a lot of chemistry, a lot of attraction, but there's not much more beneath that surface level, coming together that, is strong enough of a foundation to keep this going for the long term. Now, looking at how you can sort of communicate with this person, we have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is, she's very energetic. She's very passionate. She's very fiery. And when we talk about communication with this other person, I'm not saying that you need to go like buck wild and screaming and flailing and waving about the place. But it does feel like you need to not stifle yourself, if that makes any sense. Because I think that earlier in this reading, we talked about the fact that, you may have kept your mouth shut before in prior relationships and, not sort of voiced your opinions. But I think that now, particularly with the 8 of Swords, which represents sort of being willfully stuck in one place, I think that you're going to have to get this off of your chest, right? And this is not a situation where you sort of temper yourself, where you dull your message down. This is something that needs to come across very clearly and very openly if you're going to get out of this feeling that you are giving and not receiving. I think that, for you, it's going to take this conversation to get some level of clarity on where this other person is. I think that, and I'm going to be honest with you, Leo, I'm not entirely confident that this person is going to be completely upfront, open, and honest about where they are or what it is that they're looking for. But I do think that this is going to be sort of your tipping point, where after you hear what they have to say, your intuition, your spidey senses are going to sort of kick in and you're going to say, okay. And I think your intuition is going to lead you to make the decision that's best for yourself. And Leo, I do not see you sticking around in this situation for much longer. I think that either, this person's going to be straight up and tell you the truth, which I'm going to be honest, I don't think that that's a strong possibility, but I do think that you are going to be able to see through any lies that they tell you. Now, another message that we have for you from Spirit, we have self-love. You realize that the love of self is necessary to love another. And so what I'm getting from this particular message is that In all of this, knowing that this person is not giving you what it is that you need, and thinking about the possibility of slipping into this sort of codependent energy where you are chasing after this person who may be breadcrumbing you or giving you little bits and pieces, but not nearly enough of what you want or what it is that you deserve. It's going to require you loving yourself more than you care about this other person so that you can do what's best for you. And so that you can sort of tell yourself, you know what, I deserve better than this. I deserve more than this. And so if you want to run, by all means, keep running. I will be fine. I'm thinking about my own stability. I'm thinking about my own happiness. And if you can't contribute to either one of those, then there's really no need for you to be around. So, not necessarily the happiest message in the world, Leos, but I think maybe the one that a lot of you needed to hear right now. So make sure that you take care of yourself first and foremost. Make sure that you are very clear about what your expectations are from the other person. Have the conversation and then decide to do what to do from there. So that's what I got for you guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.